Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Through the Tomes, a show where an amateur DM guides his friends through a campaign of Dungeons and Dragons, primarily using adventure modules, built-in adventure like campaign settings, books, pre-made stuff, customizing here and there, and fitting it into a nice little campaign in the continent of Wildmount, because I'm a critical role mark, and I don't apologize for that. I have my team, I have my party here. We're all excited. I'll introduce. First, we have as Wind and Summer, Daisy.
Howdy, howdy.
As Tobold Toby Underborough, we've got Brett.
I got Zach Sauce.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Nice. As Lucius Luke Zanero, unofficially Luke, we've got Matt.
Hit me up for Mexican food restaurants recommendations in the greater DFW area.
There's bound to be some winners down there. And of course, we got as Solero Talion, something like that. Drew.
My girlfriend said fuzzies.
No. It's fine. It's adequate.
It's adequate. I'm always down for some adequate nachos, but for now, let's have some adequate D&D, hopefully. So last we left off, our party had spent some time in the city of Palmaflora, which is along the Menagerie Coast. They've been spending some, they've known each other for a few years pre-game, as we've established, and they've been working together. They gathered this little group of misfit toys to eke out a living and just try to make ends meet, and traveling band of sorts, working taverns and working docks, here and there as the need arises. They spent a couple weeks in Palmaflora, a little bit rushed by the DM, unfortunately, as the excited amateur DM trying his best, but they had some experiences in Palmaflora. I know that I didn't give enough of details for the landmarks of Palmaflora, so I'll start there before we get into like where we are and where we left off last week, because we left off there were orcs attacking, but we'll get to that in a moment. I wanted to give like a little bit more of a less like wacky, like, oh, there's this the other thing. So if you remember, like the shape is like this, like quarter pipe almost upside down, like with of course on the shore, you have like a boardwalk with docks and marinas all throughout. Kind of like north is, you can imagine it this way, but north is more up into the top right of a map, if you imagine it that way. So it's a little bit more like this way, but I'd like to imagine it the other way. So along the shore, there's docks, there's marinas, it's very merchant. Along those docks, there's along a elevated like wall, there's like stalls and for like quick purchases, registrations, getting supplies quickly, like different like merchant stalls, or even just like people selling like trinkets and like things to like the sailors and the merchants, like local people like selling like maybe jewelry, or you kind of what you see like on a boardwalk, just the D&D version of that, and behind it, it's like the
caricature drawn of me and like hyper yeah.
you have your
giant head,
your character with a giant head and big feet, and with a big afro on your feet, and your is like twice your size.
Giant fingers too. Yeah. Looks kind of like me.
So along what would be the far upper closer to the upper edge, there's like there's stairs along like intermittently up to that elevated part, which is it's all like cobblestone-ish, like rather than like full brick, it's more like cobblestone-ish, but like a wall. It's like to an elevated area because most of the town is kind of like elevated above the boardwalk and like on cobblestone streets because it's like a rocky shore, ish, rather than the beach more further down. And then further on the top of the boardwalk, there's like these stairs, two sets of stairs facing the opposite way, kind of doing this like this, like a pyramid, and like with like a little landing up top, and then that like an entry arch above like the far back of the landing. It's like they both lead up, and there's a generous landing, so it's like you're going into town. You go up the stairs, and then this landing, and then like it's the big greeting area. You can kind of imagine that, and then there's the market square. And then that road, there's a small road where there's a bunch of like buildings, storefronts, and taverns and inns and things like that. And it's, like right up on the railing of that elevation. That like there's the railing, and if you stood in front of the buildings up top, you would look down, and you see the top of the market stalls and stuff like that. If that makes sense. And then beyond the entry, like a little entry area. I think I mentioned that it kind of like goes forward into like city area, and then it kind of curves to the right, and then it goes down, and it eventually is parallel to the boardwalk, and then it's like buildings, offices, a couple like of different kinds with the and then there's the streets to a residential area. Almost like as after the merchant's respite, like we went to last week. There's a street that goes to the neighborhoods and things like that. Most of that we covered. So that there's to the left rather than the right of the merchant's respite is the entrance gate. Beyond it, and that goes out to a road. That there's a smaller like a gate behind the residential neighborhoods, that it's pretty guarded, but mostly for people who live there. It's kind of like they're a little in and out, but it's a little bit more guarded. But it's a smaller place, so people who live there kind of have their own like entrance to just go home when they're coming in and out of the town. That's the two gates. The main area that is called the Sunset District. There's a Temple of Pelor there. There's a dwarven priest named Berlin Tidebearer. I think somebody worships Pelor here. But the priest there, you met him because you just to check in, as you are a monk. Even you kind of like been away from the monastic practices, you still check in with the temple, do some prayers. So Berlin Tidebearer is the priest there. He's a dwarf, and he's a very like he's down to earth, but very like genteel, kind of calm, good healer. He's the kind of a person, very good listener as well. The docks where you did most of the working, I was obviously the docks and marinas and things like that. The further up, which is the further northwest, is more the merchants and like in and out commercial marinas, and then as you go down the boardwalk, further down is where like the smaller private marinas or like just people coming in and out marinas are, and the docks, so that we're just people traveling in and out. That's where you got Brimley. You got him off his boat, and things like that. And of course, we didn't get it. If I didn't do everything so rushed, I probably would have given you guys opportunities to like role play with Raul, or Hural. Actually, I like Daisy's spelling. It's like Hral. He's a Canid. He's a good guy. He kind of had you. He was when it's working time. He was tough. You had your tasks. And he had a strong hand, but he was very fair. And he was very fair, but you had to work. Like there wasn't like you weren't there to just like do some minor work and you get a free handout. You were there to work. So when it was time to work, he went hard. But he's pretty. But outside of work, he's a very calm doggy. He's a very good boy. If he's very like loyal, he's very cool, he's very like understanding. He is a bit of a horn dog. Yeah. He's usually seen when you see him, he was outside of work. He works hard, he plays hard. But more like he likes to flirt. Yeah, more like he likes to flirt with people in town. He's usually at the tavern, kind of like talking people up and things like that. But yeah, he was a fun character. He's a fun character. He is a fun character. Maybe you'll get to hang out with him. And I won't rush you. But
he doesn't die first.
That's what I was thinking.
May his die rolls,
be ever in his favor.
Yes.
Yeah, if he doesn't die first, that won't happen. No, he's okay. He's
not at all. That never happens.
And
it's his last day on the force. He's gonna retire.
2 days away from retirement.
That's right.
yes. So the fisheries. He's current master. Spends most of his mornings hungover and most of his evenings chasing after the local ladies at the White Shirt. As the text would say. He's beloved by most in Palmaflora. Sorry, I kind of like exposed what I was pulling from. For his tenacity, loyalty, and kindness. Which I like. I like reading from DM Dave's stuff. So I will say, I'll once again say, what I'm pulling for, like I said, I'm pulling from adventure modules. This is the first of the, I'll say for the guys, the first of the Hand of the Eight adventure modules from Dungeon Master Dave. It's called the Storm of Mega. Now, I didn't want to spoil it last week because I said the Storm of Mega. I didn't want to spoil that there was a storm and some guy named Mega. So if you want to
a mega storm.
Yes. If you want to go check out Dungeon Master Dave's stuff, go to patreon.com/DMDave. He has a Patreon where you become a patron, you get adventure modules, he also creates really cool character races like the Canid, which we're using and we're introducing to our version of Wildmount. So probably not the last Canid we'll meet on this journey. But go check that out. So I'm gonna give that a shout out. That being said, so the Merchant's Respite, you went there, you saw it. I don't need to go through that, but yeah, it's the main like big tavern. And there was a couple of the other taverns.
We came, we saw, we entertained.
Yes, exactly.
And we made better than good loot.
Yeah. I should have, and that was another thing where I was a little too heavy-handed. I should have let you hey, what are you playing? I should have kind of been like, next time I'll let you guys kind of dictate and react based on what you're doing. But
as somebody who has run adventures from a module, sometimes it's nice to steer the ship where it needs to go, especially when establishing. So I'm not too upset.
Yeah.
Second that.
Yeah, I'll try to guide a little more. I'm learning, so I'm trying to guide a little more but letting you guys. I'm going to let you guys be a little bit more free. and react.
World introduction is usually very DM heavy, anyways.
The town hall or the Concord Hall of the Clovis Concord. That's where the Marquis Darren Malik works. Shout out to DM Dave. DM Dave in this module introduced me to the word Burgomeister, which I almost always accidentally say in my head Burgermeister, which actually I think might be an alternate way of saying it, Burgermeister, which is I think I wish to one day be able to legitimately call myself a Burgermeister.
Hang out with Peter Pepper enough and shoot your pepper at the egg, and you'll become a Burgermeister.
Yeah.
Just get that burger time in.
I was going to say, you got to make good time if you want to.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice to have, like, mentioned this earlier and then have it brought back as like remember that thing? Old Bundy. I'm gonna use Old Bundy. Old Beatty is fine, but Old Bundy is a mangonel. I don't know if you guys know what a mangonel is. It's like I think it's like the trebuchet of crossbows. Like it's like a gigantic like javelin shooter.
So like a ballista?
Yeah, like a ballista. Yeah, it's some. Let me Google it again. But there's an old kind of mostly decommissioned mangonel. Oh no, it's for throwing stones and other. It's not a. It's like
a traction trebuchet.
Yeah,
oh wow,
traction trebuchet. So a mangonel. So that's Old Bundy. There's one. It's a little rusted and it's a little old because it's from before when they when they needed to use it a little bit more, and like there was a little bit more trials and tribulations along the Monopoly Coast years ago. It's not quite Calamity era old, but it's pretty old. But it works fine. It's worked fine enough to like when that every once in a while they like to like roll it around and throw some like random like they'll like throw like fire like light some like big like what are they, like big pieces of like cloth and like rocks to like throw it into the water just to like have like a big picture.
If I had a trebuchet, I'd be using it for fun too. It's you can have fun with trebuchet in non-battle.
Sometimes if there's some like old like fruit, they want to like play around with it. They'll just like chuck it into
perhaps
the ocean.
like a pumpkin chucking.
Yeah.
But
it's big enough that they can like throw a bunch of them. So it's like whenever it's like they need to get rid of a bunch of like fruit and because they they didn't sell it off and it's rotting. It's like throw it in Old Bundy and just chuck it in the ocean for fun.
Love it.
So it's old, but it's not completely disused, so it's still functioning, which would have been a great thing to like drop early, and then like there's boats coming on. Hey, we have a. But now I'm like introducing it like okay, I would have.
So it's a thing that we have known about.
Yeah,
may have not have been
that it's a
covered.
thing is like that it's there and like and could be used.
All right.
So, and I'll let you guys do any shopping because you guys wouldn't really know to shop for adventuring supplies.
Yeah,
because you didn't know there was going to be like adventure. Y'all just trying to find work. So if anything, all you did was like get food, get yourself situated, get clothes and things like that. But there will be shopping in the future. There will be shopping. We'll have
yes.
all right. So, a couple of corrections. I will say it definitely wasn't what it was at first where I tried to say there were 10 long ships. Like no. And there wasn't like 5 long ships. I'll put it out there. Ultimately there'll be 3 long ships. And we'll get into the actual numbers because that's what it actually says in the module. I was just trying to like I ended up trying to make it up on my head, but like it literally says there's 3 long ships in the distance.
Hey, long ships are longer than what I would have guessed too.
Yeah.
So I get it.
So I have to like be honest, but and you don't quite see them when you first have that conversation with Malik. He just kind of hears from his people that are out further and can see further. But you hear him say everything about Griffjaw and the band of orcs. So where that leaves us off. When you hear about orcs, I'm gonna actually have a couple of secret conversations. So I actually created a D&D whisper room. So I'm gonna let me see if I can move people. Move to there. I'm gonna talk to Matt in a moment. For a moment. So Matt.
Yes.
I should say Lucius.
Mm-hmm.
As we talked about, you had your history with the revelry, and not obviously you don't work. You're not a pirate yourself. You didn't you weren't a full-fledged member of the revelry, but you work with them. They were got your stuff moved, and you got stuff for them if you needed. You had contacts, so you were able to be the guy they knew. That knew the guy. Like you're the guy that knew the other guy. Like they know a guy that knows a guy. You were the guy that knew the guy. And then also they helped you kind of like run your stuff. When you
I was a good connection vector.
Yeah, and then you also in turn they back in the day they were also your connection as well. Yeah. You would say?
Yes.
So, but you knew but you were connected with them enough that you shared they were comfortable around you, and they would tell you, they would say things around you or have conversations around you that they wouldn't have with anybody, just random Joe. So when you heard Griffjaw, you almost like chuckled. You didn't, but you almost chuckled because Griffjaw is almost like through. Almost everybody in the revelry is a running joke because they're not part of the revelry either. They wish they were in the revelry. They're as far as the revelry especially concerned, is they're just a bunch of like kind of meatheads, orcs. They're meathead orcs, and the orcs can be anything. Obviously, to the Menagerie Coast, there are many orcs and half orcs in the Menagerie Coast, and it doesn't automatically mean that any of them are like pirates or evil people. Because I'm sticking with the new canon in D&D that no race is automatically evil.
Exactly.
But these guys are bad guys. They're thugs. They're mostly meatheads. They're not super effectual. They wish they could be part of the revelry, but the Plank King almost considers them nothing. They're just a bunch of meatheads that got lucked out into a couple long ships, and then I think maybe stole one extra once. It's almost like there's a running joke that when people kind of fall in rank or fall in favor from the Plank King, that if they keep fucking up, they might get recruited by Griffjaw. So
that was flanking, you said?
The Plank King, as in walk the plank.
The Plank King. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Plank King. Yeah, he's the guy. He's the capo di capo, like the capo, the godfather.
Okay, he's
of the revelry. So the guy you don't fuck with, you're summoned by him. You have to show up, but you're not happy that you have to show up.
Right.
So he's the godfather. But yeah, they're kind of like a little bit of a running joke. But obviously, all this because of that background. So.
Okay.
However you want to share that information, obviously that's connected, but that's what you know. All right, let's come on back.
About how many people died of
Yeah.
Malaria. Just
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about Indianapolis here. Sorry.
Having malaria back in the day.
Yes.
Grand old time.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna bring Drew into a secret conversation.
Okay.
All right. Solero. It is an interesting. So obviously, we talked about how you're from the Empire. You're from the Dundalli Empire. So you're an Empire kid. Growing up, you knew orcs as soldiers. You know, as big, tough soldier guys. They were in the military. They were guards sometimes. Big, tough soldier guys. But you know that there was a kind of like a stereotype that was around a lot of the Empire, that orcs, they were like any orc, it was about this close to just being full on evil, murderous rampage, and that they could like all go and just take any town and start invading towns and killing people. It was like that.
Right.
It was like, that was like that running stereotype, because Dwendalian Empire is mostly a human empire with some elvish influence. So they have some of these other races, but there's also a lot of these stereotypes and these what's called racism that permeates it. So that's what you grew up on. That's what you heard. A lot of those things, that there's this demonic or like this influence that created like that the old saying that they were created I think it's in the lore of the White Stone, but like they were created by this like cataclysmic event to create these evil creatures. Of course, that's all hearsay. No, there's no scientific backing to that. It's just lore and hearsay and lore and stories passed down. But
It's the basic feeling you get, not necessarily that there was anything outright. It's just this is
it's like the story of
living
orcs.
in this area. You get it.
Yeah, this is what you know of orcs. Like that's like their history. And there's that, like, how much you want to let that influence your, like, how you grew up on it, but that's where you were raised on. They're said to be, okay, I'm looking up the word. They're said to have been born from elves seared by the blood of Grumsh the Ruiner, when Corellon pierced the orc god's eye on the field of battle. They were feared as mindless abominations drawn to slaughter like moths to a flame. So, like, there's stories that tell that of how the blood of the Ruiner flows in the veins of all orcs, things like that drive them to they commit violence and anger, and something called the Hagar Groom, or the Curse of Ruin, that everything from battle rage to bad temper. So, like, that's a stereotype that even some orcs feel like, well, it's there. They kind of like self-accept, but that's the baggage you're carrying from like how you were raised, and how you want to react is up to you. But yeah, that's what you want to. And then like you hear in I don't know, however you want to react. You hear that there's possibly these like big, almost army of orcs that are bent on destruction. Man.
So knowing orc superiority complexes and such like that.
And like proneness to, supposedly, allegedly, they're like this close to always being bloodthirsty, angry, about to murder and things like that.
Right.
So yeah. I think that about it.
So
If that
be a
makes
little
sense.
wise and quick on my swords and whatnot.
All right, so let's head on back.
Great if it has good internet and you're working remotely.
Right.
And that's how a bill becomes a law.
Yeah. Yeah. I also love that I can move people on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you
this-
know, like
Yeah, you can
power.
you can end the conversation real fast.
Right. It's how Curly can boot people that have bad audio to the your audio is bad channel.
Timeout.
Yeah. So, all right. So you hear that from Malik. He turns to you and he asks for your help. You guys agree. Okay, we'll help where we can, if I remember correctly. So, and I think I mentioned that there's. Did I mention? I don't think I mentioned tactics. I was like, okay, he'll talk to you guys. He gathers. He quickly gathers some like sailors that volunteered to help out. There's about like you see 10 of them. There's 5 members of like the garrison and the military. There's various other guards that are around stationed, but you have like so there's other people around stationed and helping in other parts of the town. But you got about 5 dedicated to what you're about to do and where Malik wants to station everyone. So there's about you guys, Malik, and about 15 people that are about to get deployed. So he kind of talks to you guys and says, all right, the Griffjaws, the longships, the good thing is the longships are equipped with, are not equipped with siege weapons, usually. They haven't set these up. They usually like to get right up on shore and just invade with numbers. They'll likely be focusing on that, just trying to get to shore and just overrun the town. I will say, typically their goal has simply been to pillage and maybe cause a little chaos and then take what they can get and leave. So as long as we can keep people safe, take out whoever we can, because if we, they will kill. They're not here not to kill. But ultimately their goal is to take. It's likely Mega is riding with them. Mega the Brash. He's riding with them. He never misses an opportunity to join a rave. That one. He will often ride first. On Chico. He has this intimidating, wretched, giant vulture that he rides upon. I almost feel like it just as for the visual, he does it. But he will typically kind of go on ahead and lead his army, his people, into battle and into the fray. So he will be ahead of them. They, like I said, they're going to use their overwhelming numbers. I will tell you. Okay, so what we got our people here. We got prepared. We've got 5 members from the local guards. 5 members from the garrison here at our disposal. Thank you, fine men, for volunteering for this work. We've got 10 sailors, able-bodied sailors. They're wielding, they're willing to take up crossbows and help with this endeavor. So we've got a little bit of extra manpower. Thank you, men and women and other for volunteering for the help. And they, you say like, yeah, anything for Palm Flora. He's like, yeah. And then we have old Bundy. I never thought we'd get a chance to use the old girl, but it seems like a good time as any, and we've got plenty of big rocks to chuck at them orc ships, So we've got a plan. Yeah. And he turns to you and he's like, okay. That being said, I would love to hear. Does anyone have some ideas, some plans? Yeah,
man. I mean, is there any? Can we shoot anything on fire into those ships, and maybe get them a little preoccupied with what's going on board that they can't land?
It'll take somebody some time, so we can send a couple people to gather some I guess gather some rags and a little bit of fuel, and but that's going to take some time to gather enough rags to make a big one. So that's a good idea. You go find some rags, so we can wrap them around a boulder for fire. Probably are going to only be able to make one, but hopefully that will add to the help. Anybody else have some ideas? I will say, we need 5 people to operate the old Bundy. Anybody want to volunteer to operate them? If anything, we'll just pull from the guards.
I can lend a hand.
I'm also probably better at running a machine than fighting with these fists.
That's a fair point.
Yes. So
Yeah.
both of you, the feline. I will have you wait, and stay on guard for when they finally arrive, and then we will get working. Okay, so all right, you help these two. When we start setting up old Bundy. So by the way, old Bundy. This is all he's screaming all this as like the wind is going, like this is a hurricane happening. It's building and building. So you're all just saying and then like it's getting rainier and rainier, and like you hear there's thunder. And then there's lightning, and then you kind of like are like keeping an eye out, and then you see lightning strikes, lightning crashes, a new mother cries, and you lightning strikes. You see a flash of light, and then you see off in the distance, you would judge about 500 feet from shore. This is starting. This is getting started. Your guys are in position, 500 feet from shore. Your first signs, you see 3 long ships, black sails. You can't quite tell how many orcs are on there, but you see some orcish forms of varying sizes. But you can't quite make out how many, but there are quite a few there as they're approaching. So let's get started. I want to...
Because I have a story for everything, I'm going to talk about the time I met an orc named Mork who was from the town of Nanu Nanu. And that's it. Sorry, done with that.
Okay, so...
I love it.
So... I'm going to roll initiative for all the NPCs. And then I'm going to have you guys roll initiative.
He had a whistle on his suspenders.
Oh, boy. Oh, whopping stinks.
Okay. We got winning somewhere in the 6.
Grateful for that +3.
There you go.
Ooh,
it's probably not
18.
going to be huge. So, Solera. Luckily, Solera's there to... Lucius is... Okay.
Is there a quick way to... never mind. I'm a ding-dong.
Okay.
Well, because my fur is wet, and I've got to take a moment to shake all the rain off.
You just rolled intelligence.
What? That's not at all what I... Sorry. There we go.
I mean, that's a pretty good intelligence
even
check.
better.
Did you roll?
Initiative's
I'll
better, though.
count that. You know what? I'll count that for your figuring out the machine. You get the hang of like.
I was too busy thinking about more.
You figure out. You kind of get an idea. You get an idea of how to work the especially the aiming. it's you and one other person that's gonna actually have to do the aiming. But you figure out the aiming, and you're able to kind of guide Solera to help out with like the kind of part of it, the tensioning system. You feel like pretty confident that you kind of like won't fuck it up.
I'm not proficient in siege weaponry, but I am pretty confident that we can not kill ourselves.
You will be after this.
Yes.
We'll see.
Okay, so let's go back. Lucius, is there anything you want to do as far as like preparing? Because I don't know if you have like
Yeah,
buff
I mean,
spells.
yeah, not really. I guess the best I can do is just like I can help with old.
You can always hold your action, but not to put stuff in your things. But yeah, you can help.
Yeah. So I guess is landward attack imminent at this point?
They're about give
Said 500
me
feet.
500 feet. Give me let me see. I'm gonna say just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. Doop. 12.
So you don't know the exact you don't quite recall the exact speeds, but you can tell that they're with the wind, so they're going at a good clip. Like you wouldn't be able to clock it, but there's some
Okay.
time. There's time.
Okay.
To prep.
Okay.
So
I'm
a few
going
rounds.
to. Okay. If there's anything I can do to help with the old what's his name?
Old Bundy.
I'm old Bundy. Yeah, with old Ted Bundy, I'm gonna help Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're gonna, well, in the meantime, just help out.
Yeah.
Keep an eye. I would say since they already have people manning it, you're keeping
Okay.
an eye out. So.
Okay. I'm range finding.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can help out. So when it comes time to fire, which actually now that we have Toby's turn, I'm gonna actually match. How do I do this? Okay, I won't worry about it. Toby's initiative is the mangonel's initiative, as far as, and I'll still just attack on his behalf. Okay.
Man, that's going to be some fast weapon.
Yeah. Because you guys got a good chance to get you get good intelligence and you got it prepared quickly. But there's a but it's not ready to shoot just yet. So let me make sure I remember how long it takes, because it actually takes a couple of turns for loading the mangonel. Like you can't just it's a huge thing. So
Yeah.
So if you
I'd be worried if you could do that all within 6 seconds.
That's right. The D&D time is fast.
Yeah.
But may I interest you in the peasant railgun?
Yes.
Okay. I'm googling. Oh, it's a Dungeon Master's Guide. What the hell am I talking? I'm like googling, then it tells me, "Hey, it's in this book you have right next to you, dummy."
It's so hard to look in there, though.
But luckily, it gave me the book. It gave me the page. So I googled the page it's on.
I'm gonna be doing my best, like smooth criminal dances into the wind, like leaning as far forward as I can with my hobbit body.
It takes 2 actions to load the weapon, 2 actions to aim it, and 1 action to fire it. So 2 actions. So I'm gonna say I kind of gave you the task of aiming, and is that going to be where the part of your are you part of the team that is aiming?
Me?
Toby.
I would figure that I would be aiming.
Okay, so for now, it's not your turn. So you're one of the 2 people that's aiming the. So let me put guard. Let me put the NPCs in the initiative, because this is actually, now I realize. Okay, action. Okay, and then when it's all right. I'm figuring things out.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
That's cool.
Just looking up the
We're all
railgun.
figuring this out because
You found it. Yeah.
It's good.
Okay, so I'm putting
It's pretty
in
great.
the 3 guards and making them not hostile to you. I love that you put in NPCs, and no matter what NPC it is, it's always hostile.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Let me go into the card. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. No. How do I wonder how I can roll initiative for this guy.
yeah, the peasant railgun. It's up there with the weapon from the Trogdor game, which is the thing for throwing tennis balls for dogs, but flaming.
Is
Also,
it
I'm
really my
watching
turn?
No. Let me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll start over the turn. I'll let the guard 2 and 1 are in charge of. Guard 2 and 3 are going to take charge as they kind of started in loading, and guard 1 is going to be help you in aiming, or is or unless Solero is helping with aiming. Solero, are you helping with aiming, or are you gonna do the shooting? The fire, like pull the pull.
The ripcord.
Is there going to be a check on that?
I might have you take care of the attack roll for the mangonel. Well, actually, no.
Yeah.
I'll do the attack roll for the mangonel. It's just when it's your turn is when, after everybody else does the 2 turns for the loading, the 2 turns for the thing. It'll be your turn to shoot, and I might actually even adjust the initiative manually based on that. So you want to do that, or help with the aiming?
I mean, if it still needs aimed, I would rather aim and get this shot right if it's going to take another round of turns to get it done.
Okay. So I'm gonna. All right. Adjusted. All right. So we have. Okay. Somebody, could somebody keep track of what has been done, which two and 1. So, for example,
So we're on round 3.
yeah, let's just call it round 3. So guard
We've done
2
2 loads,
is
and it's
2 loads, 2 aims, and shoot. And that's guard 1, and when it comes back around to him. Because it's gonna have to come back around. So he's started so guard 2 has started the process of loading. So that's one action taken for the loading.
Okay.
And then Lucius is he's helping with the aiming. And then Toby,
I'm helping.
you can't quite do anything aiming wise because you're waiting for your you're waiting for the payload to get loaded. So when it comes back around, you'll start the aiming process. But I will have you roll a let's say roll a perception check with advantage. So load the perception in the manual dice entry, and then click ADV on the bottom left corner if you can see it.
Bottom left corner. There we go. Click. And then where's the why is that not doing it?
It's because it's not as a. I'll say as. Let me see the weather.
Because over here on my character sheet, like I have my perception, but unlike the other ones, when I click on it, it automatically.
Did you double click on it?
I did. My little hand is handy.
You went to
And
the
then-
skills tab and then scroll down to perception. Double click on your little.
There,
Yay.
it did it then.
Hey,
Sweet. I rolled great.
Oh yeah.
So
I perceived everything.
you can see the ships. Like, obviously, you can see the ships. They're big ships. They're off in the distance. Again, you're having trouble clocking exactly the distance. You're that whole 500 feet. It was a guesstimate just on initial glance, but you're not quite sure. You're probably gonna have.
Trust me, guys. I got this under control.
Yeah, I would say.
I trust you, man.
You're probably. I'm gonna probably have to let you. Let me see. What does that mean? I'll let you be able to aim, but you would. I was probably gonna give you. No. Damn. I don't want to make it too harsh of a penalty. I'm gonna say you. We'll get to your turn. I think I might have to. It might need a check in order for you to aim, or may need to add another aiming action.
All right.
But that's all you can really do unless you have unless you want to do any of your like buffing spells.
Which I do not.
Yeah, because right now is probably not the time to inspire anybody just yet, because that's only lasts a minute.
10. I can do 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But no.
What a max if anything.
Screw you guys. I pay you to. I don't pay you to be inspired. I pay you to show up to work.
Hey, man, don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. So guard 3 is well, I should do the map, because this is let me actually share the map. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Share sheet.
Oh man.
be a question mark.
Oh man.
We have a map.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Without having a table in front of us, doing this virtually makes the visualization of spacing way harder. Got it.
So
Yeah.
let's say it's about there. I'm gonna. Toby is here. Lucius is.
Oh,
Probably,
I guess
don't know,
I should.
I put you there. I don't know. You can move yourself depending on where you think you be better at keeping eye on things. Guard 2 is loading over here. Guard 3 is over here. Guard 1 is helping with is going to be the one here pulling the trigger. Also, I don't know how to turn this guy around. Okay. I'm rotating this guy. There you go. That's Malik, the veteran on the map. That's Malik. I'm using a veteran thing.
I was confused by the left foot. That is, but there we go. Yeah, I scroll wheel put to good use.
Okay, and then so you all should be there, and then Summer can be wherever she wants to be. I put you on the map. You can kind of move yourself around. I don't know where you want to be situated.
Okay. Great question.
You should be okay. So that is the guard 3. That was the second load action. So
So 2 of 2,
which means they between the two of them brought it in. We've loaded the big boulder. Big old boulder. Big old just honking thing. So the long ships. It's funny that the long ships have gone turn. And they're in their turn, all they're gonna do is approach. Which is like, yeah, this is easy. Okay. Which was an easy way. So, dun. Okay. Okay, guard 1. But yeah. Also, I should say, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention. Okay. This map is made by a map maker by the name of God Mode. If you want to support the guy who made this really awesome map, go to Patreon and go G0DX mode. It's a little peculiar way of spelling it, but it works. But G0DX mode. Check him out on Patreon. He makes a bunch of maps, different D&D, gridded, ungridded, multiple like day, night, different modes based on like the level of you choose. He'll provide you a different mode for the map, and for like even different types of settings. So, really cool map. So thank you, God Mode, for providing your maps out into the world, and so that I may partake in them and use them for through the tomes. So go support a cool map maker. That being said, all right. So the long ships. I'm trying to calculate. I'm gonna pull out the calculator because based on like distance. Okay. So minus this amount, which you guys haven't been able to figure out yet. You guys haven't been able to remember how fast long ships go into the wind. It's like, which is wild. So that's all they do. And then guard 1 loads. Guard 1 aims.
So is that our first aim or our second aim?
That's your first aim because it hadn't been loaded yet. So he's aiming.
All right.
Like he's trying his best. He's done a very good job. He almost seems like he sees it better than you do. But he's gonna need your help.
Cool.
If it doesn't, but if anything, like it's two actions. It doesn't have to be him and you. So if you don't end up aiming, chances are he'll just do it himself.
I'm good at being support.
Yeah. The mangonel has a turn, but is not important to. God damn it. All right. Just stop moving. I get what it's trying to do, but
oh my.
We're going to be great at this soon enough.
Yes. Once we actually can shoot things. The mangonel once it'll be it'll get going. The mangonel doesn't have a turn yet, but by the way, the mangonel, I love that they have to specify that it's immune to poison and psychic.
Yeah, don't want to charm that machine.
It's not immune to charm.
Oh God.
Doesn't specify.
let me think.
No.
Sing it the song of its people. And
that's right.
But luckily, oh wait, no, guard one. Guard one there's the guy shooting, but Solero is aiming. I forgot that's how we figured it out. Okay. Now we get the aim. I will say, Solero, give me a perception check.
Is this also with advantage? Sorry about the squeaking dog.
Yeah, because Lucius is helping. Lucius is like you're talking with him what he sees and what you see, and so he's helping. He's assisting.
So do you roll 2 perception checks then?
Yeah.
I accidentally double clicked again.
Keep the higher since you have help.
Yeah. So it's a perception. When somebody is assisting you on a skill check, you roll with advantage. And basically, and you roll twice and you keep the higher. Unfortunately, you're having trouble kind of clocking it. you can't quite figure out. It's like, so I'm gonna say it's gonna take till next time to aim, and next time I'll let it be counted as aim, but it might affect the attack roll. This won't count as the aim, but I'll let it affect the attack roll. So it hasn't been aimed yet, but it might be aimed disadvantageously next time. Presumably, Summer is just preparing. And then long shift 3. And then as this is going, so it's starting to get even it's picking up. The wind is picking up. The storm is picking up. It's like, in fact, I should probably have music for this. What the hell am I doing? Not music, but sounds. I'm not gonna feed it to you guys, but I'll feed it to the chat because I think the audio is tenuous at best for you guys.
Yeah, we've tested that in the past.
Yeah. It works great for the streaming, but then you'd have to open a video stream in the middle of things. Why is it? Wait, what? Why didn't I have the things that okay. Okay, a storm. Where's the storm? There you go, storm. Yeah, yes. Yes. Yeah, so the storm is brewing. The storm is going. It is it makes being able to kind of like talk and see a little bit harder, and you can gather that it's going to affect this a little bit, but when you start to have to actually start to have some fights with, you know, one-on-one battles and fights, these storm conditions are going to be probably affecting you. So I think next time the perception checks would have been with disadvantage, but since Lucius is helping, it zeroes out, kind of like with offsetting penalties in football. You know, it'll be straight rolls. What's it doing? All right, so guard number 2 is going to go over to the aiming mechanism, see if he can help out. So he's gonna roll a simple perception check. Man. He's having trouble as well. Everybody's rolling.
RNG is with us
I need
tonight.
to come over there and help y'all. I'm over here praying.
How did I not see shit?
Hey, we're all, I just imagine we're all looking on the same
you
thing.
all see, and you can see their shit.
I see it too.
And you see what's happening. You see the overall, and you can tell what's going on. The hard part is clocking exact distance and what, like what's it gonna take to actually hit those ships, and properly aim it. So, I'll give it that. Lucius is continuing to assist.
Yes.
Toby, give me a straight perception check.
All right.
Okay.
This is you're starting to get a feel. They got closer. You're starting to get a little bit more with communication back and forth. So I'm going to drop the DC a little bit. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
That
19.
wasn't my. That was not Toby's roll.
Oh, okay. The Lucius. Okay, good.
That's a little better.
Yes. All right. So that counts as an aim, and there's not going to be any penalty. Guard number 3 is going to help aim. Like everybody like, oh fuck, we got these boulders, and now we're all helping with this aiming process. There you go, and then that's aimed twice. Okay. So now we're ready to shoot. You know, you can tell
Pull the ripcord.
the long ships are getting a little bit closer. Let's see, make sure I know. Okay. Yeah, they're starting to get bigger. You can see them getting closer on the horizon. There's guard 1. Guard 1. He's like, all right, everybody, clear. Rips cords. You see the payload and the thing just snaps forward. The boulder, you see it fly out into the distance. I can finally roll the mangonel's attack roll. Unfortunately, with disadvantage, because this is you guys don't. I don't know if you guys really know this, but this is at its long range. But let me load this day entry. Roll it with disadvantage. It's okay. It's gonna aim it at the leading longship, and it misses. Oh dear. see if it can get worse. Yeah. I was like, could it be a? Okay, I was rolling with disadvantage. No, I wasn't rolling with disadvantage. No, yeah, no, because it's in its long range. Yeah, I don't know. Something like. So, fortunately, it's kind of like you see the load, you see the boulder fly out in the air into the wind. You can't quite make the shape of it, but you see it like splash just to the left of it. It almost feels like maybe like the wind kind of. It's still a big boulder, but it's a hurricane, so it's like it's raining sideways. So you can see that the wind took it just off its purchase. So unfortunately, now it starts again. The load. So. Malik can walk up here, but he's gonna hold down his turn. Solero, do you want to shift into loading to help with getting things loaded?
Yeah, like for sure.
Okay. All right. So you get the next boulder going as you crank back the holder. So you just kind of like crank it back, and then that now you started the process of loading. You crank it back and you get it back to where it's like tense again. Summer, long ship keeps moving forward. Guard 2 helps out, so he takes care of guard 2. I should have mentioned, like, you have like these 3 guards. There's one of them is like a tall, blonde, muscular human. That's the one that's helping out right now. There's a stocky but muscular dwarven woman with like a scruffy beard, like hard eyes, but nice. She's there helping out with the mechanism, and there's a half orc that is also one of the guards there that is helping out with this. So that's who is with you. Should have actually given not just guard and number, but that's who is with you, and helping out with this. So guard 2 helps out with the loading. So now we have a fully loaded ship, and Lucius is still assisting.
Yeah. How far away is the long ship?
Oh, okay.
About.
Just give me a perception check.
Okay.
A straight check again, please. All right. So you
Perceive.
yes. So you now
23.
they're closer. Now they're closer. And you got a better clock at them. They're much closer, so you're getting a better understanding, and you kind of like remember the feeling, the sense of like the distance. And now, yeah, you can determine that right now, they're about 380 feet, probably more like, at this point like 360. And based on where it was before, based on where that distance was before, and you can kind of clock it, you remember that triggers in your memory that a long ship like this, you've been on a couple. When it gets wind and sails, they go 60 feet a turn. They go like 600. 10 turns a minute. Yeah, 600 feet a minute. Like they.
Okay. Wow.
So they can go on a pretty good clip for a big ship, especially wind and sails, which are definitely like the wind is blowing in, and that's a big part of what's making all this is a little harder. Is everything is blowing in on you, and you're getting rain in your face, you're getting wind in your face, and it's just like blowing. It's like you get bugs in your face, like it's like your hair is all like slicked back.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while to comb out later. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it. How's that? The flaming boulder coming along? Is that anywhere in sight?
So you see that the two, which was a young like a young half elf man, and a candid boy, like very young. I mean, it's hard to tell with candids, but he seemed like I would say probably underage, but big enough to be able to help out.
Sure.
We went off to do that. You can see that they're starting to gather the rags. They have a bit of like, what's the right kind of fuel for this?
like gasoline, or like oil, I guess, kerosene,
oil,
whatever the analog.
Ale oil.
Yeah, there's
Mango fuel.
like fuel. They've gathered that, but they're starting to gather big enough that they're not quite to where they can properly cover one of the payloads on with it to get something, but they're getting it together. You would say they're about a quarter of the way done.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep helping then.
Yeah. And then I imagine you tell them, it's like, all right, they're about. I imagine you tell everyone.
A quarter of the way done. Yeah.
Or how far everyone is and stuff like that. Yeah, you hear from Toby, from Lucius about how far they are at, and they're about, how fast they're going, a little bit like that. So there's a load of ship. Toby, give me a no, there's no need to perceive anything. Once you kind of get that information, you get it properly aimed. It's easy to just adjust from there. So you take your turn to aim. Guard 3 take their turn to aim. The ships go another 60 feet closer. And guard 1 fires. This is to see if this is where, and I would say right about this point, they're aiming. You can also tell that with your perception check, you can also tell that the one ship is heading more or less in a pretty straight direction to just a bit southeast of you, further down the dock, and then the other two ships are starting to kind of like break away. Like one was a little bit behind, and they're starting to break away. So they seem to be like spreading out their numbers. So let's go. Okay, mangonel is gonna attack. Yeah, with disadvantage. Let me see if it'll give me the disadvantage. Oh, wait. Damn it. Well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I might as well do the disadvantage roll. Just, okay, there you go.
Even more cool.
Oh yeah.
We're populating the coral reef system.
Oh dear.
Yeah. All right. So let's kind of like. Oh man, they're hitting. I'm missing. So. I don't know. I kind of started skipping turns. Solero is again. We'll fire one load from Solero. presumably. Wind, long ship. One load from the guard. And then I would say you're keeping an eye on you're helping the two with the flaming thing, right? Now at this point.
Yeah. If they can use help, I'm happy to help out
You're
wherever.
Because you
but yeah, if
like you're able to kind of help stitch them together and tie them together to kind of get.
okay.
So I would say you're about halfway done. With wrapping the.
Yeah, can I go help them? I haven't
Yeah,
really
you can. You're like over.
Come join the circus.
Okay, yeah. I would like.
The five of you are now on this project, and you're getting a good clip on it, on getting this one. I gotta decide
Oh, yeah.
what this adds.
Gotta get the proper windage. Bullet drop.
Yes.
I like to
So-
think Wind and Summer has been trying to get some villagers to safety in the
Yeah.
meantime.
Yeah,
and
you've been able to
internally
like,
freak out.
you were getting a last few up into the main area up top. You were mostly up here guiding people up to like the safer areas up here, and leading them, that way. They most of them know where to go, so it's just a matter of like making sure nobody falls. People are like, it's hard to see, so it's more like helping them like find their path. You have good, I believe you have dark vision, right? Or yeah, so you can see a little bit better in the stormy weather, because everything's kind of a little darker and stormier and things like that. But it's still tough because like the conditions are super rainy and super tough on everything, but all right, so let's get it popping. Okay, let's get to the next thing. So Lucius is helping. So you're probably halfway done wrapping the boulder with the ballistic load with the cloth.
Okay.
Toby, presumably you got your little finger out there, all right, down this way, yonder, up a bit, click, adjust for the thing, and so you got the one.
I want a rock. Rock.
And card 3, like, oh yeah, I see it, yeah, right about this way. It's actually a little bit more to the right. If you get that, you probably work with the wind, and
But I say that so fast.
yeah. And the long ships are another 60 feet.
Coming at the speed of an Olympic sprinter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're with the wind. They're
boogieing.
So, but finally, let's see, because this is gonna be tough. If the mangonel keeps missing, it's gonna be tough for them to actually cause any damage. But we'll see. to actually be able to take out a ship.
Point blank siege weaponry.
Yeah. Still okay. Range 200, 800. Okay. But soon you gather soon. It's starting to get a little bit closer to where a range where it's not going to be as hard to hit, as in they're starting to get into the mangonel's regular range. So
Yeah, buddy.
yeah. So let's attack. Let us. Dang it. Okay. Yeah. see. Okay, there you go. That's the two of them. Okay. Oh, so close to a crit. One of them was a 20.
Oh no!
But he hit. But luckily, it's still the one that the low number is a 19. A 19. And luckily, the damage is 5d10 bludgeoning damage. Yeah.
That could be a lot.
Yes, that's very well could be a lot.
One can hope.
It could also not, but
Could also be
So
5.
24 damage on the hull of the ship, which is not bad. This
it's not
is
half bad. It's
That's about the expected value.
That's right.
yeah. All right, and Malik is like, okay, he's clocking them. He's like, all right, right about now. Keep an eye out the size. If he gets any closer, Mega's gonna probably take flight. I'm surprised he hasn't already. Just keep an eye out.
Okay.
Solera. I imagine we're still in the point where we're loading. Solero's loading, I presume.
Yep.
Summer is helping out with the cloth. So you're getting close. I would say by the time we get to Lucius's turn, you'll be with all of you. I would say by the time it gets to Lucius's turn, you'll be done. By the time, from what you can tell, like at least like getting it loosely wrapped around, and you'll be able to start like feeling it. They've been already like dipping some of it into like the oil and the fuel.
I guess I'm thinking like a combination of like kerosene and just liquor.
Yeah, like some of that rock gut, some rock gut, that we have, like, which is
just grab it from one of the guards and start dousing it, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
You
Don't worry
smell
about
both, and you find yourself you have a smell of both, and you're like, and you find yourself having trouble distinguishing the smell.
Yeah, like I think wait, that kerosene might smell better.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. It doesn't smell like it's been aged too much, like something like rock does. Those long ships. Yeah. So second load. Lucius, but now you have it wrapped. Yeah, you've been able to kind of like start dousing it. It's not quite saturated, so if you want to be safer and make sure it could light, you want to saturate it further. But you could try now, or if you want to keep like getting more fuel on it.
How far away are they at this point?
You would guess about 260 feet and closing in. And a couple.
Okay, yeah, I'll.
Yeah.
Can I put it in the mangonel and continue dousing it like right until the very end, like right until they release it?
It already has a load, so you might wait until next turn. Like I would say, in your next turn, you can start, because the way it's timed down, it should be Toby's gonna aim, guard 3's gonna aim, and it'll shoot again.
Gotcha.
So so on your next turn, you'll be able to put it on.
Sweet.
Okay. Toby's gonna aim. Guard 3's gonna aim.
It.
Yeah, you've been like you the two of you have like, all right, yeah, that worked. You the last time you high fived, like, yeah, all right. Now they're just a little bit to that way because they started.
Well, at least it was a high five for me.
Yes, it was like because because it's a half orc, so it's like you and
Yes.
but he did exactly the amount of force that to give you the high five, and he didn't do it in a condescending way. Just great little moment. So the two of you aim. But in that time, the longship 1. You see off in the distance, because now it's about 200 feet of distance. You see,
Dang. That's
see
close.
an orc, a brutish, big, intimidating, like, as best you can see from this distance, a big orc sitting on top of a giant vulture. Just take off and start going in. Because he'll be going, and he'll be double clipping. He'll be using his action and his bonus action, so he'll be going double speed.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I forget. I had made him already. Uncategorized. Wait, no, it's not PCs. Uncategorized. No. Hey, I made him. All. Oh no, because I still had the guard search. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Cook.
How do I
Caw.
give one? How do I roll one person's initiative? You guys won't know because you're not seeing my screen. I wonder if this will affect everybody's initiative. I'm trying to remember because. Oh crap. That's fine. It didn't affect things too much. Guard 1 is still. Oh wait. Okay. Correcting things in the okay. But yeah, you see, and you can tell, yeah, that's Mega the Brash. Like this, like, you don't quite see the facial features, but you see he looks big and tough, and a muscular figure, dressed like how you would expect it in like something in between a barbarian and a pirate, like but his attire, so like a Barbara pirate, as it were.
Barbara pirate.
So he starts taking off, and but before he can start moving, so he's about to start making. The mangonel is going to take another attack because it's loaded, aimed, and ready to fire.
Come on, buddy.
Oh wait, no, it's not with this. It's within his range, so I shouldn't. Miss. Okay.
Old Bundy just didn't quite have it in him on that one.
Well, this is going to get real fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then Mega is making a good clip. He removes about 120 feet. Like he's almost to shore. You know, he's about 80 feet away. Because he uses 60 feet of he used Chico's 60 feet of flight and the bonus action to double dash. I forgot to add Chico because I added. Oh no, giant vulture. Is that a T? Oh, I can't spell vulture.
Mega.
You can see him. He's making a beeline for the mangonel.
Okay, you said my longbow. Just want to know for my turn.
Your longbow.
You're in range.
He's in range. He's in one of your ranges. So.
If my sling bullet can go 120.
Oh my god.
Longbow's 150.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, it's awesome.
Nah, you.
Like to start shooting the bow in the face.
So yeah, so there's an orc atop a giant vulture.
Does it have culture?
You reckon from its approach and its flight, it lacks in the culture department. Which is a bit disappointing.
It's good to know.
Which is a bit disappointing. So I would say, let me see. Let me clock if 80 feet is on. Might
Culture on the skids.
This is
Use it or refuse it.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80. Actually, yeah. Let's say, yeah. He's starting to leak. This is if I remember correctly, each of these is 5 feet. So, yeah. You see him on the map.
Oh boy.
We did.
Well, you don't see him because I have to show him. And I just realized you guys can't see the mangonel.
We saw the G unit.
So the guards. You guys can see the guards, but you can see the mangonel because they're.
I see it
now I know because the mangonel is neutral, it's rather than hostile, rather than friendly. So it's like you've been gathered around this invisible mangonel on the map. I just realized.
Yeah.
Well, there's something on the map. I just kind of figured that was sufficing as it, whatever you just put the M right on top of it.
Yeah. All right. So and then he made it to about there in his turn, but that's all he could do. Because no, he doesn't really have ranged weapons, or at least he's not going to throw his axe at you, because he would have a hell of a time retrieving it. Just to make sure. Okay, yeah. So he gets about there. So it is Solero's turn. I presume you're gonna break off of there. I'm gonna say that Malik notices that and he's getting ready to go and take over. While you focus on attacking. So,
yeah.
What do you want to do? You want to move and get into position first? You want to attack first?
Let me double check the map.
So each square.
Kind of got a good sight.
5 feet.
Yeah. as is tradition.
At least on this one. Some of these maps I have them. They're a little bit wider perspective. Some of square might be 10 feet, but which is where it's useful that you can go like half measures on this. On the crate.
Gotcha.
But on this one it's 5 feet. So you should be able to do.
So if I'm moving my chip, is that showing what I'm doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I move about there, is that going to be my whole action, or is that going to be?
No. You have. I assume you have a shit ton of movement. I think you have 30 feet.
Yep.
That's your movement.
30 speed.
30 feet is your movement, and you can use it in any amount. You can break it up. You have 30 feet of movement. You can do like 20
okay,
feet.
so I can move there and still shoot.
Yeah. So if it's like 5, 10, 20, 5, 10, 15, 25, like 30. Yeah. So that's all your movement, but you can still act, and if you had a bonus action to do, you could. But I don't think you have much of the bonus action, but you can definitely attack.
Okay, so I definitely want to take out my longbow.
Yeah. You know, Solero kind of pull, classic ranger style. Knock his bow. Not Power Ranger, but it's not morphin time.
Cool.
It's orkin time.
Yeah.
Take 'em.
Wait, did that 20 not throw?
I have not seen it.
Turn. So if you want to attack with your longbow, go into your actions. Go into your actions and double click the next to your thing to hit the dice.
Okay, and then double click the. Okay, I was gonna say because there should be a modifier on that.
Okay, 14, and you're gonna attack. Let me do your targeting for you, so that before you do your damage. Are you attacking? Now, are you shooting at Mega himself, or are you attacking Chico?
So I'm going to shoot at Mega.
Okay. So let me also gotta keep an eye out because this is early. It's not necessarily gonna. This is it. It'd be wild if you if you kill him here.
Hey, that's
gonna
D&D.
But
because this.
Fighting
but
with
not
Legends of Yore.
unwelcome.
But well, we'll see. We'll see how.
You can't beat 33%. That's what I've heard.
You have 11 hit points. Awesome. Well, if
I mean, you're pretty good at stuff.
Again,
Yeah.
I used to play rogue, so I'm used to like
Yeah, so you
with
should be able
damage
to.
at random times.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll your damage. It should be next to the attack. So yeah, you find that you get a good aim on Mega, and you shoot off your arrow. It goes whizzing into. Oh, I should have. Wait, this is projectile. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna let you have this one because I should have remembered that. In these stormy conditions, I was supposed to have you roll with it with disadvantage, but I'm not gonna because it is a hurricane. I should have rolled with disadvantage.
Yeah, I didn't think about
But next time, we'll roll it forward. That was my fault. But yeah, you you kind of adjust for the wind, and you just like wiggles. You're worried that it's gonna like break off, but it hits him just right in the rib. It's like, ugh. And he just like looks at you like, oh crap. He gets a little angry, but it's like, you know, he looks at the mangonel, and it's like that's all. He's not gonna do anything though, because it's not his turn. Do you have any bonus actions? I don't think you do. Because you can't. You don't know healing word just yet.
Think I do?
You don't know
Where would I
healing
check
word.
Your second hand
No,
attack
no,
is
you
not going
don't.
to throw another arrow.
I can't just throw another.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yes.
Yeah. Bonus action: attack with longbow again.
Yeah, unfortunately. At least I don't think so. I don't think you get double attack.
Wouldn't it be great though?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Summer's turn. So there's a couple. There are a couple things you can do.
Let's see.
Because you have a ranged attack. You have, I think, precisely one dart, or I don't know how many darts you have on your possession, but you have 10. Okay.
Trying to do some math here.
So I adjusted it for you.
Yeah, that's my thought when I do math too. Oh no.
So, and then your range on those darts.
60 feet.
So,
With disadvantage, I have heard. And I can use my feline
so you can-
agility to double my speed.
where do you have your range?
So
You could probably get a little closer. Be able to get a dart
I can
off.
find myself on here. Alright, so they can go up. Right.
You're gonna do. That I can't understand at
Okay,
all.
this should be like call
No.
Petey. Do I need to get closer?
Let's see. I think there's a thing that can use to measure.
Or you're on the edge of a
Make
square
it fair.
such. Yeah.
But he's in the air, right? So like
Oh wait, I'm not drawing. There was like a thing
50 to 55
Yeah.
feet
How high above the ground is he? Let me just visit with Pythagoras
Exactly.
real quick.
That everybody loves
about 20 feet up in the air.
triangles.
So I would say we want to be like within like 50 feet. Your range is 60 with disadvantage or 60?
It's 53. 53 feet.
53 is the hypotenuse of kick his ass.
Does this seem more reasonable if I'm this close then?
Well, I like it.
I-
50 feet away and 20 feet up. That's 53 straight shot.
yeah.
That's why bow classes are the best.
There's a
that
slight
makes
arc.
Well, we
So I would say, yeah.
we already we
whatever
factor for that.
Then I really. Oh wait, no. With is it within your regular range? Because I would say with the storm, if it's your long range, it's gonna automatically miss. I would say you would know. So gosh darn it! Let me see. Let me look up your range. just to make sure.
Wait, I lost your audio.
That's not just you.
Oh, okay. What about I'm quiet. Let me see your dart. I don't see your darts. Oh, why don't I see your darts here on the thing?
Script to accurately account for the arc.
Yeah. For some reason, you don't have your darts on D&D Beyond.
Your audio's cutting out.
That's odd. Oh, okay.
But yes, everybody knows that it's business
Oh yeah, skipped frame. Ooh, crap.
time when you have to consult
Yeah.
Pythagoras.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see where it's having some issues. Holy crap. Okay, alright. Are things calmed down a bit, audio-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Slightly.
Okay, range
Seem to be.
2060. I would say you would know that at this range, you would normally be good at throwing the dart this range, but the wind is just too harsh. I gave it to Solera, but yeah, the wind is too harsh for you to really get purchase on the dart. So you could like use your feline thing and try to get within 20 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got confused with this, right? Because
Yeah? Your audio.
that doubles your speed, right?
It doubles your speed. It doubles
It's not
your
just
speed.
right, because you're not just using your walk. And then if I use feline agility, I can move 120 feet, which is ridiculous, but that's part of being a tabaxi, what I was
So
reading.
you can use you can double your speed to sit
Yeah,
to 60.
so I could get right up under the vulture.
If you're gonna use your feline agility, you're using it your one use per. Once you use it, you can use it again. So you move no feet. Wait,
Punch a
can I
bird,
just-
Daisy.
can I just-
Punch a bird in the face.
Can I just get under it?
yeah, you can. Let's see. You are here. 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And then you can bonus action. So you can get like turn off drawing mode.
Super Mario jump.
Is Petey still with us, or did we lose
He
Petey?
may just be talking quietly. though.
Yeah, you can go to right around here, I believe, with the 60 feet, unless you used your action. I don't know what else would double.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Audio back.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Also, I got to turn off this camera.
Oh, and he's gone again.
Testing, test, 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Wow, those things are skipping frames on.
Okay.
We have PD video again, but no audio. There we go.
All right. Okay. Are things settled again? How do I sound? Did it sound good? Did it sound audio? Can you hear me now? How do I sound? Do I sound okay? Can you hear me now? Oh man. Let me.
Wow.
Okay. How do I sound? How are things now?
I think better.
I mean, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
improvement.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
before it was you were speaking in tongues.
Yeah. Now, are things settled now? Audio wise?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. All right.
Everybody.
This is tough. I think it's like to figure out computer resources. I may need it. I may be in the market for an upgrade or a whole new rig, but
Chrome eating up all your research.
yeah.
Too many cookies not getting deleted.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder what else I could quit on this computer. All right. Like I was saying, I don't know. So it should be that your running speed, your speed is 30 feet, and
Walking.
which is your that should be your speed in a turn. And it would be 60 feet when it's doubled, when you do your trait to double it. Okay, so you would get, I think with the 60 feet, you'd be able to get to where I put you. On the map.
Okay. And then from there, the winds are too good.
You'll be able to roll with, so it's within your regular range to get within, let's say, you're within 5, 10, 15. I would say with a slight adjustment, I would say, yeah, you're within 20 feet. I would say within your regular range, you'll now be able to roll with disadvantage rather than be unable to do if you wanted to throw your dart.
Okay. And then remind me, guys, how do I make an attack roll?
You go to
actions and go to your dart where next to where it says thrown, the one that has ammo underneath it.
Yeah.
And then click on the dice with the number next to that. Double click.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay. There's
roll
one.
Again. Yeah. And then what you can also do is next time so it doesn't use
you can click
ammo.
the little thing.
Click dis on the bottom left. Don't worry about it now. Let me see what's this dude's AC.
I by the way, I'm aiming at Chico.
Chico. Let me see Chico's AC.
Chico.
What's good thing? Let me see. Good thing because Mega's AC is 16 and Chico's is 10. So.
Oh, nice.
So let me go ahead and target. So yeah, you definitely hit Chico with your dart. So if you want to go ahead and I've already hit I've set up the target for you. Roll the damage for that.
Check it. 5.
5 damage. You roll that, throw that dart right into its side.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just be visibly like shaking the air, like.
No, he's like, it hurts, but it's like he's more like pissed him off. He's hardy. Like he has a little bit more hit points than that. He's wounded, as it says in Fantasy Grounds.
Okay.
And I think that's it for your actions because I think your bonus action is contingent on using an. Well, let me see. Action
Weapon or an unarmed strike, if I read it right.
with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon, you can make unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Dart is not a weapon.
Yeah, no. So you wouldn't be able to
be honest,
if you're not a rogue.
Can't.
If you're a rogue, you'd be able to phew, phew, phew. But unfortunately, you are not. So I think that's your turn.
Okay.
Because now I remember. I think at a higher level, you're going to be able to start using your bonus action to double your movement, as opposed to using your action. But that's in that's in the future. Unfortunately, you're level 1.
We'll get there.
Maybe.
Better. Yes.
Oh.
Malik moves over, and he's going to take over. So he sees that Lucius is what Lucius was doing, and he's going to go over and he's going to help start loading the soon to be flaming ball.
Yeah.
And then okay. It's gonna be fun. Okay. And then the other guard, this is the dwarf. She's gonna continue. She's gonna get it loaded. For you to continue. I guess. Fueling it or dousing it.
Yeah.
And she grabs it and she starts helping out dousing a little bit. So before you do anything, I want you to give me. Let me think what the DC is on this. An intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, come on.
SMRT.
It was almost a 17. I don't like Fantasy Grounds.
All right. All right. Hey, as far as you know, man, this is going to work great.
Awesome.
This is going to work awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. So
what are you going to go ahead and do?
Yeah, man. I mean, so is it in the sling at this point, did you say?
Yeah, it's in the sling.
Okay. And so I'm going to just continue dousing it, and then right before it launches, I'll light it and back away. So can I douse as my object interaction of just pouring?
I would say that would be your action, and doing something like lighting that would be another action. So you would have to be holding an action, but unfortunately you use your action.
See, okay, if I'm just pouring a bottle out, I feel like that feels like an. I guess you're right, because that's kind of a more continued thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say
can somebody else light it then?
If you want to, instead of continuing to douse it, because I would say it's pretty doused with what you did on the floor. If you wanted to hold your action for lighting it, you can.
Sure.
Instead of doing the dousing, you can hold your action till you're ready to fire.
Yeah. Is there anyone else who would be able to actually light it other than me? I lost track of who's doing what.
So there's Toby's likely,
Toby's aiming, right?
Presumably. Ooh, Tybalt's. It's Tybalt's birthday tomorrow, but I had sent him away.
What's Solero doing? Hanging out there.
Solero's shooting with his bow, with his long bow.
Yeah.
So I would say when it's time to shoot, it says doused. It's gonna be if you're gonna go as when guard one says. So it's because everybody they're gonna use their action to aim. Presume.
Okay. Guard. So Toby, guard, and guard 3 and guard 1 are.
Toby, the human guard, the kind of the tall human guard, and are going to be aiming. The half orc. Oh no, Toby and the half orc are aiming. The human guard is at the ready to pull to shoot.
Okay, yeah, I'll just ready my action to light it then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So it's my turn now. This round.
Yeah.
Okay. How far away am I? Not close enough. All right, I'll continue as I was doing.
Hey, you know what might be really handy is
inspiration.
Some inspiration to make sure that the other guards aim real good or shoot real good.
Unfortunately,
is bardic inspiration. You can use. You have two of them.
My circle. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, I'm not close enough to viciously mock.
Yeah.
But and I'm not going to sling a bullet and miss. So I guess I can hey diddle diddle the cat and the fiddle, and everybody can in a 60-foot radius can gain inspiration of 1d6 for up to 10 minutes.
Wait, everybody or one person?
It says a creature other than myself within 50 foot. So let's see.
You can do it the half orc or the probably
the hork's going to be okay.
Or the guy shooting.
Daisy.
The guy shooting or Daisy's a bit far.
He's too far away.
The guy shooting might be able to use it to help with the attack from the mangonel. You can
sure. Yeah.
So if you clock your use of bardic inspiration,
so he can add it to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll ask him his opinion on what he will choose.
Okay, so I'm going to.
I will click that.
Okay, so let me do this. Target card, and I wonder if it will do that. Oh, okay. All right. So, and then it's I'll just have to remember it. Okay. That's fine. All right. And then that's your turn.
Correct.
And the guard 3, you're still aiming at the long ships to be able to thin the numbers. So you're still aiming at the same ship. The ships are getting fast approaching, take another 60 feet. Getting closer. They're getting on the horizon. And then now guard one's gonna attack. Lucius, you're gonna go ahead and light the fuse with you were handed like a little flint and steel to get it going.
Man, I got a fire source.
Yeah,
I got my own.
Steel in a hurricane. That's gonna be my favorite.
Yeah. So speaking of the hurricane, you light it, and it got pretty doused, so it does light pretty quickly, but it's the fact that you did it just now is good, because that fuel is holding that flame living, because it is being beaten up by the wind and by the rain, And if had you done it before waiting, if you hadn't waited until like right now when it's going to be launched, it would have been doused. You can tell, like it would have been just doused, and it would have been like you're just a rock with wet rags on it. But
Hey, if it hits, I don't care.
Yeah.
But the fact that you did it just now means that it's still going to hold some flames.
Nice.
Just to get there. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm not going to make this the ship roll with disadvantage because it's within its range. It's officially within its range. So
Is that performance enhancing Fago?
So unfortunately, it rolled a 1.
Oh no,
So inspired.
Lundy.
So
That inanimate object.
So
it's
mangonel blows up.
that's a catastrophic failure. It fires off like I would say it shoots off. It doesn't even get past the shore. It actually there's a ship to the left of you of some that it actually hit that, and it does so it does its damage to that. So I'm gonna take off the target. So it does about 24 damage to a random other ship. It's called the it's like this merchant ship called the Wind Fury. It looks like it's an Empire ship. It's for some people taking supplies in for the Empire. So it just hit that, and also it's a little bit misaligned. So you know what? That catastrophic failure means that the tensioning mechanism snapped.
Well,
which as close as the ships are getting, is fine because like they're almost at shore. So using the weapon it would have been nice to get another shot in and maybe take down a ship and affect their ability to get out. But the mangonel is out of commission.
D&D, everybody.
that's right.
It's at this point that I would usually remind folks that while there are critical fails, there are not catastrophic fails. But anyway, that's
for flavor.
for fine.
But the big thing is
That's fine.
Yeah, the main thing is that the mechanism fails and then it misfires. And it's a
Is
big
old Lundy broken?
So Mega and the Vulture see that with that and with taking some damage and the fact that the mangonel is no longer in operation, so they were heading towards it to kind of get it out of commission. So they're going to go full clip more towards the south shore.
Oh boy.
They're going 120 feet. And for brevity's sake, because they're basically out of range of everything by the time they get out there. They're 120 feet out this way. So I think like I wonder if I can see. What was Solero's range? I'm willing to let Solero get one shot.
120 feet. Is what it was. That's me.
Well,
Oh, wait, sorry.
Solero he has a really good range.
150.
Yeah. So they're going at they're 120 feet this way. I wonder if but that is your long range. Okay. Just to double check, because before I'll get you one shot to like damage him a little bit more. Yeah, 150 feet is your regular range. Okay, so
Also, when that all that happened, Lucius just looks at the guy firing it. It's like, really, man?
he's like, I don't.
Worked so hard on that.
Keep
Yeah.
flaming stone. Finally.
So Solera, are you still targeting Mega?
Murder that man.
Yeah. What did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Disadvantage roll, right?
Yeah, because he's still within your regular range, so you can hit him, but you can shoot, but it's a disadvantage.
Wow.
3. That could have been nice, but he's like, you fire off like angrily, you shoot it off. It's just like the wind, because you're aiming now a crosswind, like it's going cross. So, and with that moment, you couldn't really just stop and think, like you can readjust your aiming quite well enough. So you just went and shot and aimed, but it just went, just veered left, and then he's gone. And nobody else has range. And by the time it gets to your turn, everybody range. So for brevity's sake, the long ships keep going. So you see the ships, keep moving. They all veer more towards the south shores, and make like beelines. They all they stop or start to drift just offshore, and you see boats of orcs, dozens of orcs on boats, all orcs and boats hit the shore, start to approach the land, and you could just see the boardwalk and the marinas and docks all start to flood with orcs with great axes in hand, and you're not quite sure how this day is going to be, and what the battle is going to be like once you actually start to engage these, and what you're going to need to do to make sure things go well, and what the Brash has in mind. But that'll but that you're getting yourself ready, and that's where we're going to end today.
All right.
That visual.
Well, our die rolls statistically can't stay this poor, or they can.
You think?
You hope.
Perfect curse.
Yes. Yes. This is fantastic. This is fun. This is gonna be fun, because now we're gonna actually start to get to fight some orcs out on the shores.
Yay! That's what I was born to do.
The board is ready to fight orcs.
Well, it's going to be interesting, because you're going to be how what it's going to be. It's going to be about strategery, and trying to save a little bit of like fighting some orcs, a little bit of getting people to safety, because there might be some people that are still stragglers.
Hey, we can bravely run away.
Yeah.
Could do that.
That's no fun.
No, not fun. But
It's much more fun to die as a level 1 character.
Yeah. I hopefully doesn't. I did some play test, a little bit of a play test esque thing. Hopefully this holds as far as like hopefully this all stays the same. Okay, delete from tracker.
Cool.
Delete all non-friendly. Because
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of a good healer in this town.
I mean, I'm not
Well, you
worried
know
about
one.
like healing.
The priest.
yeah, you know one. If you can let's say if you find somebody that needs to be taken to get healed or like maybe
Yeah, I'm more
Resurrected
worried
or-
about being raised from the dead than getting healed.
revivified. If you can get him to the
Throw some Phoenix Downs on me.
if you can get somebody who to the merchant's respite within the minute, you can probably get revivified. I'm gonna say, but
Give me that sweet, sweet nectar of life.
yeah.
All right, everybody, start breaking your soul up into Horcruxes so you can't die.
My phylacteries.
Simple.
Yeah, I'm gonna close
This is fun.
Fantasy Ground.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you
absolutely.
for another game. I'm glad to have been able to do a little bit more. Like I said I was gonna have you guys more freedom, but like that was pretty on the rails, but it needed to be because it's combat, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we're also all navigating the tools for the first time in combat. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It'll
in
be-
Including
siege
you.
combat, you're
Yeah.
usually very focused. Like siege
Yeah.
combat can be kind of like, okay, if there's a thing, we need to make sure the thing is working. So certain
Yeah.
actions are going to be wrote because it's the giant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna get into when we get back next week, we're gonna get into some random encounters or and getting people to safety and and seeing what happens.
Cool. I'm ready to claw and
yeah.
work in the face twice.
Yes.
I'm ready to do that too.
Yes. But that's it for another fantastic adventure of Through the Tomes. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for watching this real play. Thank you for bearing with us as we all grow and learn and kind of futz around with the tools and stuff. Be sure to follow the channels, follow the YouTube for as soon as I can. I'm going to start properly posting things to the YouTube and into podcast forms. But once I get things a little bit more formal, but follow the twitch.tv/RebelliTV if you're over there watching these VODs later on to kind of hang out and watch it live. Follow the channel. Like, share, do all the things. Don't forget to love each other. I'm gonna steal that from Matt Mercer, whole hawk, and gladly because it's. I still love that statement. But yeah, don't forget to love each other. And until next time, hasta los huevos.
Toodaloo.
Is it Tuesday yet?
Yes.
Technically Wednesday,
Well, it's Wednesday.
depending on where you are.
Man.